Known as El Chapo, Joaquin Guzman was the boss of the Sinaloa cartel and a notorious Mexican drug lord who was convicted of several federal charges in 2019 and is now serving a life sentence in a maximum security prison in the United States. The most dangerous and resistant criminals are housed in Supermax prisons, often known as control unit or maximum administrative facilities. Hello, and thank you for tuning into our broadcast. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and the bell symbol so you will never miss an update before watching the video. El Chapo is currently detained in one of the world's most secure prisons, the United States Penitentiary Administrative Maximum Facility, ADX, in Florence, Colorado. ADX inmates are subjected to solitary confinement for 22 to 24 hours a day, with restricted visiting hours and few opportunities for education or entertainment. They are under close watch and don't get out much to socialize with other inmates. Critics of Supermax prisons point to the severe circumstances, which can include long periods of isolation, minimal contact with other humans, and total surveillance of all inmate activities. Some authorities have contended that such situations amount to torture because of the tremendous mental and bodily pain they cause. The prison is notorious for its oppressive atmosphere, which includes high temperatures and a lack of windows. The soundproofing of the cells further restricts prisoners' ability to interact with one another. Many feel that the high rates of psychological discomfort among prisoners are at least partially attributable to these harsh jail circumstances. Some inmates at the Supermax prison claim that guards have abused them physically and psychologically through excessive force, medical care denial, and isolation as a punishment. This institution has a control unit, a special housing unit, and a communication management unit. Solitary confinement occurs in the control unit, while offenders with behavioral disorders are housed in the special housing unit. Convicts who pose a risk to national security or the safety of other inmates and employees are housed in a special facility known as the Communication Management Unit. With an average size of around 80 square feet, the cells of ADX Florence are among the smallest in the world. No windows or natural light are present because its design is aimed at reducing sensory overload. There are only a few hours out of the day when inmates are not confined to their cells for activities like exercise and personal hygiene. The exercise yards are usually just big enough for one convict at a time so that they can avoid having any kind of interaction with the other inmates. It has been asserted that the poor living circumstances in prisons contribute to the high rates of depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues among convicts. However, experts have voiced alarm over the potential negative effects of prolonged isolation on inmates' mental and emotional growth. Importantly, El Chapo has voiced his concerns about his detention, saying that his imprisonment amounts to torture and that he is being detained in terrible conditions. His attorneys filed a complaint in 2019 claiming El Chapo was confined in circumstances of solitary confinement that amounted to torture and caused him serious psychological suffering. The complaint also claimed that El Chapo was confined in an abnormally cold cell and was denied access to the necessary medical care. In 2020, El Chapo's legal team submitted yet another lawsuit claiming their client was imprisoned in a torture unit and subjected to cruel and inhumane treatment behind bars. They said El Chapo was kept in a continually lit cell, disrupting his circadian rhythm, and that he was only allowed to leave his cell for 1 hour a day to shower, stroll, or exercise in a tiny cage. Furthermore, it has been stated that El Chapo has suffered great emotional suffering due to the strict control over his mail, phone calls, and visits with his family. The Bureau of Prisons, BOP, insists that El Chapo is not confined in solitary confinement but rather in a specially constructed housing unit to protect all inmates, employees, and visitors. The BOP is also responsible for the inmates' health care. However, the level of service offered is unclear. Therefore, it is fair to say that El Chapo's Supermax jail is harsher than other forms of punishment due to the extreme confinement, restricted opportunities for human connection, and total oversight of an inmate's daily routine. The potential harm to an inmate's mental and physical health from these situations has been widely condemned.